오셨군요, 아카리오스님. 결계는 어떻게 됐습니까? 성공하셨는지요?
레다를 만났네. 환영의 팔찌를 찾아오라고. 어쨌든 그녀
노토스 레기온의 영광을. 템페르나 데바의 유물들은 훼손된 그 말인즉.
그렇군. 그
맞습니다. 이슈타르의 요새 중
나이드 군단 요새? 그곳은
저,
불의
최근 이 일대에 생겨난 용족 본진으로 향하기 전에
불의 신전, 악력.
자네도 아는군. 과거부터 있었던 불의 신전 앞에 제가 미리 연락해두겠으니 안내를.
빈스터 비스! 자! 빈스파피스. 비스타 비스. 자! 이쪽은 레브론. 저와 같은
조금이라니.
그래? 아까 크레요의
창조를 해야 하니까.
맞아. 그래서 우리 당신은 오드의 근데
우와, 이거 이제
시끄러워. 자, 이어서 얘기를 할게요. 오드의 성질 중 한 가지 오드랑 비슷한 실험한 자, 일단 우리 바로 앞에서 시작해주세요.
Morphobale set. What?
성공했다! 물질 하나당 하나만 변환해도 성공!
우와!
레브론!
어?
자, 그럼 두 번. 자, 조금 옆으로 가서 시작!
봤어? 봤냐고! 미쳤다!
저기 이거 당신한테도
돼지야! 다섯...
엄청나. 노이란의 시대가 가고 나의 돼지...
나는...
꼭 그렇게 분위기를 깨야겠어? 알았어. 마지막은 눈앞에서 봐야겠어요. 역사적인 순간을 이게 뭐야! 빨리 없애줘요! 핑계가 싫어! 시대시비! 어디 갔어? 어째서? 식인충이 나온 것까진 그렇다 쳐. 왜 제대로 변환된 것까지 다 없어지는데? 설마 생명체가 사망했다고 변환물... 혹시나 오해할까봐 말하는데 실험이 실패한 분명히 원인이 있겠죠. 일단 실험은 이걸로 끝이에요. 전 여기... 아무래도 물질 안정성에 문제가 있는 것 같아요. 하긴 애초에 질량 보존 법칙을 벗어났는. 그리고 당신이 어디 거하기 싫. 그럼 이만.
케이드로한테 문제가 좀 생겼어. 그래서
사고가 생겼네. 지급하려던
가만히 있던 포사가
그런 건 없었네. 다만 도망간.
대충
그래, 부탁하네. 보조 사육사 민호. 아, 그리고
포사가 반항하지.
빈스 빈스.
포사가 이게 다 무슨 일이지? 일단 응급처치 먼저 해.
히타.
그래, 케이드로에게
네. 방금
그런데
야영지가 길가에 있다 보니 갑자기 들이닥쳤습니다.
기가 막히는 곳.
도적단 야영지 방.
알았어. 이 근처일.
저럼 잡아 죽여!
악질적인 녀석들에게 걸렸네. 서둘러. 이놈들이! 이런, 방금 영혼 결정을 몰라? 우리 대바들은 그 결정을 가지고 있으면 원리는 밝혀진 바가 없지만 그래서 우린 하진포.
호사는 저런 어쩔 수 없습니다. 아무튼
Pizza da pia. Pizza da pia.
기다리고 있었습니다. 조심히 다녀오시.
I'm gonna guess this is a dungeon. Yeah. Hmm.
빈스 파티.
불의 정령을 전부 처리하자고! 왼쪽과 오른쪽 어느 길로 가도 괜찮다고. 불길에 닿으면 화상을 입는다고. 위험해 보이는 식물이라고. 주의하자고. 키벨리스크가 있다고. 각인하라고. 겁도 없는 대바라고. 키벨리스크를 각인하고 다시 오자고. 아하! 잘했다고. 이제 안쪽으로 들어가 보자고. 불의 기운이 너무 강하다고. 냉각수 제어기로 약화시키자고. 로탄과 마주치지 않게 조심하자고. 저기 이그노스가 있다고. 해치우라고.
Ah. Damn. I don't know how to get to the next area. This way, maybe.
소상들이 잠들어 있다고. 깨어나지 않게 피해서 가보자고. 키벨리스크가 있다고. 가긴 하라고. 계단의 문을 열어보자고. 보물을 찾아야 한다고.
오!
난 꺼지지 않는 욕망의 불길에 갇혔어.
Oh shit. Alrighty then. This is gonna be fun.
널 부숴버리겠어.
Oh, that hit me. Thought I was far away from that.
화염벽 사이로 질주하라고.
Shit. Holy crap.
사라지지 않아.
여기 우드 에너지 큐브라고.
Did I get anything? There we go, I was gonna say. Beep but a piece. Yeah.
변절 대바가 바위 무덤 언덕 근처 공지 들으셨죠? 얼른 안전한 곳으로 대피하시고. 역시 그러시군요. 혹시 괜찮으시면 저도 직접 나가고 싶지만
Hmm.
보셨죠? 정말 오늘은 수락하시겠. 지금
불의 신전은 어떠셨습니까?
덕분에 나이도 군단
노토스 레기온의 영광을. 아카리오스,
나히드 군단 요새
어떻게 하실 계획?
대바의 유물이라니. 용족
그렇습니다.
레다가 그걸 찾아오라고 한 걸 보면 그 정도 괴리고.
오,
페로노스, 너무 위험합니다. 포에타보다 더 위험한 곳입니다.
칼리드의 말도 일리는 있습니다.
폐기물 처리장에 대해 말해보.
말씀하신 대로 나이두 군단 요새 내부에 있는 소각장입니다. 그 앞에는 드라나 재배지가 있어서.
그런 곳에 들어간다고?
말도 안 돼. 거길 어떻게 들어간다는 거야?
다시 변신을 이용하는 건 어떤가? 물론 드라나 재배지는 용족의 에너지를 공급하는 곳이죠.
좋은 생각입니다, 아카리오스. 드라나 재배지 쪽 다 해결되면 새벽에 레기온 자네들이 폐기장.
이봐, 그게 다 계획대로 된다고 치자고. 그 쓰레기
이 근처 유물들이 모두 거기로 모였다면 양이 엄청날 것.
네, 환영의 템페르 단원들이 사념체가 되었다고 했죠.
맞네. 레다가 말한 팔찌 또한 환영의
하지만 그건 사념체가 있어야지 가능한 일 아닙니까?
내가 해보겠네.
그게 가능하다면 좋습니다.
남은 메스람 타이다의 피를 사용하면 되겠군. 거긴 이미
실수가 있어선 안 돼. 그러니
대장,
그래.
근처에 있을 거야.
다 정리됐군. 나는 베르토른 요셉표.
우리는 어디로 가면
내가 아까 말한 단원이 있는 곳.
라세피엘, 드라나 제베지를 감시하고
맞네.
제베지의 면적이 나날이 용제
드러나 제베지
가장 확실한 동력탑이 파괴되면
일리 있군.
하지만 동력탑의 변신 마법이 가능하다고 하셨죠? 그럼
좋네. 베르
돌 나쁘다. 불이 누른. 드라나 응축불이 많은 뿔이 힘어. 동력탑 관리 책책 밉다.
조사는 잘 되어간 드라나 뿌리와 새싹에 동력탑 관리책이 있다고? 도움이 될 수 있으니 챙겨오게.
Yeah, hey, Strafe, what's up, man? How you doing?
브라우니들의 동태가 어떤가? 혼란이 발생했다니 다행이군. 나머지는 돌아와서 얘기하지. 수고 많았네. 일단 동력탑이 잠시 좋은 정보를.
어이가 없지만 메스람타에다의 후환이 두렵긴 합니다만
독이 제대로 먹혔는지는
걱정 마십시오. 문제가 쓰러져선 안 됩니다. 좋습니다.
그래,
그럼 붉은 숲에
나쁘지 않은
붉은 숲은
이번엔 나도
좀 불쾌할 수도 있지만 참을만 할 거야.
제가 드라토나 변신
꽤
그럼 바로 붉은 숲으로 갈.
저희 대원과 서로 확인하려면 암구를 대셔. 저희 대원이라면 용은 눈이 좋아 라고 답할 겁니다. 그러면 땅 아래
응, 기억해둘.
Yeah, that is a very epic looking base, isn't it? Come on, Sugaista. Shugo. No, no Shugo. No Shugo. Yeah, we got some different wings, yeah.
그럼 바로 붉은 숲으로 갈.
저희 대원과 저희 대원이라면
응, 기억해둘게.
그냥 봐선
용의 눈은 어디를 보나? 땅 아래.
당신들은 드라토나
새벽의 레기온일세. 케필리아가 붉은 숲의 동향을 궁금해하더고.
이런. 저희 보고가
무슨 말인가?
이 붉은 숲도 드라나의 영향을 받는 하지만 옛 셀비스도 망가진 터라
저런. 대장,
좋네.
기꺼이 도움을 주시다니 감사합니다.
좋아.
Yeah, we're all transformed into these weird, costumes.
임무 수행사도 챙겨오면 좋겠어.
나니아님께 전달받았습니다.
동료를 구해주지 못해서 미안해, 스탠.
그렇군요.
기운내, 스탠.
맞습니다. 그래서 한
부끄러워할 필요는 없네. 살아남은 자 우릴 도와주게. 용족들로부터.
알겠습니다. 선뜻 도움을 주셨으니
우린 드라나 제베지의 혼란을 케필리아가 말하길 여기에 혼란을 일으키면 용족의 병력이 흩어질 거라더군.
혼란이라면 드라나 새싹에 인위적으로 드라나의 주입기가 파괴된다면 무슨 일인지 알아보려 조사단을 보낼 것.
좋은 작전이군. 나니아가
부탁드립니다. 그리고 가는 길에
Ooh, nice delay there. Nice delay.
이제 용족들이 보러 그리고
잘 됐군.
이 숲에서 잠시 더 머무를 증원군들이
자네들은 뭐?
네, 다만
그런 문제람.
용족어 교본도 필요합니다. 증원군
그래, 이참에 우리도 용족어를 익혀두면 자네가 변신 재료와 용족어 교본을 구해다 주게.
Yeah, man, I just upgraded my chest piece not that long ago. Good. This one's We don't need it. Give me the skin. Ooh. Nice. That's really cool. That's a cool animation. That is a cool animation. Hmm. Yeah, it is. It's actually quite. It's pretty massive. It is a pretty big world. Yeah. Most MMOs do that nowadays, where they're like, "Hey, you've been playing for, you know." I mean, the combat's really good. The combat's really good, so I'm just trying to get to max level so we can maybe see what the PvP's like. I'm kind of expecting that when I get to the PvP, I'm probably gonna get my ass handed to me. It's just super pay to win. Like, Kanan did a pretty good video about it, but I mean, it's crazy pay to win. Like, enchanting is super expensive. Like, all the material, like trying to craft stuff in this game is insane. Like, you can make like a sword, and it's a green sword, and if you're lucky, it'll upgrade. Like, you have a 24% chance when you make an item for it to upgrade. The upgraded item is what you need to make the next item. When you take the upgraded item and you make the next item, you have a 24% chance for that to upgrade. Right? So if you make a green item, and you're lucky, it'll upgrade to the, you know, the higher level item. Then you need to craft. So basically, you have to keep getting the 25% proc every time, and if you miss it, you have to start all over. So, so crafting, you know, up to like the gold level of weapons or gear with the crafting system is incredibly grindy, really. You know, I mean, you could get really lucky because it's RNG. I mean, you could get insanely lucky and get a gold weapon in, you know, in a day. But if you just have really bad luck, it could take you a week, right, or longer. So it's that good old RNG, man. RNGesus, man. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not my. It is not a good system. And because of that system, I don't see a lot of people crafting. I don't see a lot of people really crafting the gear because it's too grindy. I think a lot of people, they just... Here, hold on a second. So, the cool thing about this game is the combat. The combat is really good. Like, really good. Like, there's very few MMOs that have combat this good. You know what I mean? And the build diversity is interesting because of your stigmas, right? So you have 12 stigmas, but you can only slot 4 of them. So you have 12 of these skills here, but you can only use 4 of them. So you have to kind of figure out which ones you want to use. And then you have your regular skills, and these you can use all of these pretty much, right? But then you level them up, and I don't know if you'll be able to like max. I think eventually you'll be able to max everything out. I think, you know, I can't see why not, because there's stuff in the game that gives you skill points. You actually obtain skill points in the game, so it's not like you have to when you level up you get skill points, but there's stuff in the game like that you get from turning in feathers. So like if you gather feathers, and I'll actually show you, right, just to show you what's the closest. Hold on a second. Here. No, I haven't seen any. No, they don't have anything like that. I don't think I haven't seen anything like that that increases your chance for success. I mean, we've seen that in other games, but I haven't seen anything like that here.
아카리오스님이 찾으십니다.
Okay, so you go up to this pillar, the Veritron monolith. You turn the feathers into this, right? Now I need 8. I think I've got 8. But see what you get? You get this. Now these you can get by just turning in feathers. And I don't think there's any limit to how many, but I will tell you that at the beginning it only takes 10 feathers to get the rewards, and then after a while it takes 20, so I'm assuming that, as it says level 18, as you keep doing it, eventually it's probably going to take maybe 30, I don't know. I don't know how far up you can go with this, but each one of these wisdom stones gives you a skill point. So because of this, and because this is repeatable, I'm going to think that you can max out all your skills, right? You know what I mean? Oh yeah, the mobs are... Yeah, you don't... I mean, well, it depends, though, right? Like, yeah, the combat, you can't really complain about it too much because, let's be honest, how many MMOs have you played where regular mobs are challenging, right? Like, there really aren't any. So now, if you were fighting... Remember, that's a mob that's more my level. Of course, just like any other MMO, if I fight mobs that are, you know, higher level than I am, then yeah, it's going to start getting difficult. Plus, you have to remember that I'm a Templar. So I'm like the tankiest character in the game, right? Like I'm very tanky, but yeah, the mobs are your level, especially when you're like the level I am, like level 40, you're not going to have any issue. You're going to pretty much beat them. And when you get better gear, you'll face rolls. Remember, I'm at level 40, and my gear score here. Let me just go ahead and resonate, right? So we just obtained the 4 skill points just by turning those feathers in, right? Boom. So now I just obtained 4 skill points. So feathers are really, really important, I think. I mean, definitely get as many feathers as you can. They spawn all over the world. But yeah, I don't... Like, the combat is, like you said, I mean, it's not really challenging. I mean, I guess it just depends on the class. This is the only class I've played, and the Templar is very tanky. Like, if you're like another class, and again, a lot of it depends on your gear score too. Like, if you look, you said it took a while to kill that mob. Yes, it did. But I'm level 40, and my gear score is 954. The max level in this game is 45, right? But the gear score, from what I've heard, can go above 3,000, or maybe even 4,000. I don't know, but it can go way up there. So what I'm trying to say is, when you get like super, super high gear score, mobs that are your level, you're probably going to annihilate. You're probably just gonna, like, they're not gonna take long to kill. You're just gonna be like biff biff dead, right? But I don't know, because I'm not level 45 and I don't have a super high gear score. But the game is super, super pay to win, like insanely pay to win. I'm just strutting my wings. All right. Yeah, whatever. I mean, that just depends on where you look at it. I think it probably shouldn't take that long only, but again, I think that's just because of the level I'm at, because I don't have good gear. You know, rip off. I think it's just because I don't have good gear. I think once I have better gear that, you know, again, I think I'll just thrash those mobs. So I think that's just more of a gear thing. But I'm not a fan of like when you're level 45 and you go to a 45 mob and you swing a couple times and the mob's dead. I'm not really a big fan of that. So I don't, you know, there's got to be a balance. The thing is, if it's like Black Desert Online, you go around and you kill like huge mobs. So you kill like 20 mobs at once, and you kill them pretty quickly. So there's got to be like a balance somehow. The one problem is if the mob fights take too long, what happens is my hand gets tired. I mean, you literally, like, this won't be a big problem for younger people, but I'm 55 years old. And I gotta tell you, if I have to sit there and spend that much time killing every mob, my hand starts to hurt after a while. Because my hand's not, you know, I'm not as young. I can't recover quickly. My tendons don't like repeated. Plus, you gotta remember, I play guitar. I'm a computer programmer, so my hands get too much activity as it is. So it's tough on my hands to play a game where I'm clicking repetitively over and over again for hours and hours. You know, in fact, I did have one of my abilities on middle mouse click, and I actually had to re-keybind it because it was causing so much pain in my hand because that pushing the middle mouse click button all the, like, over and over. It was on I was using it for my dodge, right? I was using it for this, right? I had that on middle mouse click, and pushing that with my index finger, like, literally after like 3 or 4 hours, it just killed. It gets to the point where I couldn't even use my hand. Like, I couldn't even play. But luckily I switched it to mouse button 5, so now it's on my thumb. And it doesn't, it's so much, you know, it doesn't hurt my hand at all, so. But I think the thing is, like, for me, like, there aren't any good MMOs out there right now, in my opinion. I enjoy the game because I like this game I enjoy because I like the combat, and the world is huge. It's massive. And it's beautiful. It's one of the best looking MMOs, without a doubt. Some zones are better than others. Some zones look better at night than during the day, but, like, graphically, this is one of the best MMOs. And keep in mind, this is the Korean server. I'm playing with like a 180, 190 ping. And it's pretty responsive. Imagine when this comes to the West and I'm playing with like a 50 ping. How much better it's going to feel. But there's definitely a lot of good with this game, but there's a lot of bad with this game. Like I don't like the crafting system at all. I think the crafting system is really bad. Like, I don't know if I can show you the crafting. I don't know if I can show it to you without going. I thought you could. I don't know if, I guess you can. Yeah, I guess I have to go to like a crafting station. I thought you could do it without going to a crafting station, but I don't know how to do it. But the water, dude, like the fucking water in this game is like off the hook. It's like crazy. And it's Unreal Engine 5, right? The combat, like, if I want to tell you, like, if I want to give, like, I probably should do a video, like, my honest review of Aion 2. I should do, like, a video, like, my, you know, like, my review after playing, because I'm sure I've played well over 100 hours, probably more. I probably played a couple, I mean, I don't know how many hours I played, but I played a lot, right? But just, I mean, when you talk about, like, open world games, I don't think, like, I'm kind of a big stickler for open world, right? Like, I really like open world MMOs, like, where you don't have a lot of restrictions on moving. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, some of the textures aren't perfect, but... But this game is completely open. Like, it's very open. There's only a few, like, invisible areas, but very few. You can pretty much go everywhere. And I'm sorry, but when you look at this, like, there's no game I've ever played that has water that looks this good. Right? Like, there is no game I've ever played that has a water system that looks this good. No MMO. Maybe, like, RPG or some shit. But, I mean, look at these fucking waves. They're, like, awesome. And also the way the waves break at, you know, at rocks and islands. It's very realistic how it actually breaks against like an island. Like when you see how the waves break against the cliff here. That was a long fall. There doesn't seem to be any fall damage in this game though. Like no fall damage. Which is kind of, I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of weird. You know? Here, we'll get a good look at what I was talking about. Like, seeing how the water, like, if you look at, like, if you were to, like, be in an airplane and fly over, like, the Caribbean islands, and you were to look down, this is what it would look like. You'd see these waves kind of breaking against the islands, just like this. So it's really good. I mean, it's Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine does a good job with the water. And yeah, some of the textures aren't perfect, but, I mean, what MMO can you play that has a world that's this massive? I mean, this is huge. I'm, like, here, right? Like, this is how big it is, right? And there's certain things that, like this island here, like, wasn't even visible until I came out here. Like, so this was, like, completely not shown. Like, when I was, like, over here, this wasn't even there until I actually grabbed a flight path here and it flew me out there, like a little wind current. And then once it did that, I discovered it and it showed up. So some stuff doesn't even though it looks like you've discovered the map, some stuff isn't visible. So there may be other islands too. I have no idea. But this one was completely not there. Like this whole section was gone. And it wasn't like covered by clouds either. It just wasn't there until you went on the air current and all of a sudden boom, it appeared, you know, and there it's like here it is, you know. So you can also land on that flying whale. I've done it before. That big whale up in the sky. And it's got like the Skyrim style, like, or Guild Wars 2 or Skyrim, where you basically have fast travel points. These are fast travel. Once you've discovered these, you can fast travel to them. You need a scroll to do it, but the scrolls aren't too expensive. They're not cheap, but they're not too expensive. See, I can fast travel here. But if I had to give my review on the game, there's a lot of negatives on this game, but there's a lot of positives. I mean, the graphics, I think, are fantastic. You know, I think they're really good. It probably has the best character creator I've ever seen. Like, character creator is if it's not the best, it's top 2. You know what I mean? Like, the only character creator I've ever played that would even compete with this one is probably Black Desert Online. It has the best, in my opinion, the best water that I've ever seen. It doesn't have the best textures everywhere, but I think that's just because it's so big. They can't put like the highest resolution textures. They're not bad. I mean, you can see they're okay, but they're not like super high res. You'll see stuff like when you get close to you'll see when you zoom in this, it does kind of get blurred out here. When you zoom in, I wish that you could go full first person and zoom the camera all the way like you would in like Skyrim or something. That would be something I wish they would do. The music, of course, it's Aion, so the music's great. Sound effects are good. One thing I don't like is I don't like the speed of the combat. It's too fast. Like, I would much prefer the combat was the animations were slower like this. Like, see those like quick attacks? To me, those are too fast. I'm not a fan of super duper fast, you know, shit. Like, that's not my thing. And you may think it looks okay when it's just you, but if you go into a dungeon and there's like 5 of you fighting like a boss, it's just like, imagine 5 people attacking that fast. Like, it's just a little bit ridiculous, to be honest. I prefer definitely a much slower combat. And I'm not talking about slower as in like, you know, key presses. I'm just talking about the animations aren't as fast. So, and some of the animations are good. Like, this is fine. Just the regular swing is okay. It's not great. Not the best animation. You can see it's looks a little janky. Keep in mind I'm at about a 190 ping. It feels smooth. It may look a little weird, but it does feel very smooth. You know, the dodging and everything feels, you know, very smooth. You know, these abilities feel good. But yeah, the combat to me is too fast. Like, the actual swinging of some of the abilities is just too quick. And like you said, Ripoff, I think I would prefer the mobs were a lot more dangerous, to be honest. And I would probably... Of course, you know me, I don't like fast leveling systems. I don't like leveling to max level in a couple days. I would make it a lot grindier and extend it out, like over like 6 months to a year to get to max level. And I would also do like Black Desert, where I would have no max... Actually, I would have Black Desert where there's no max level. You know what I mean? I would like the fights to be shorter, but much more dangerous, like you said. And I like, in this game, you have the ability to suppress, which I love it when MMOs do this, where you have the ability to sit down and recuperate your health and stuff. And I think... Damn, this girl's hot. And I think you should be able to do that, right? So if I do this, right? If I let this mob hit me, right, I'm gonna take some damage. You can see he's doing damage, but it's not enough. Like, he needs to hit much. I mean, he's yellow, so I'm assuming he's like my level, right? So he should be doing more damage. But again, keep in mind I am a very tanky class. Like, if I was a caster, I'd probably be taking more damage. So what I wanted to show you is my health's not full, but now watch when I sit down. Watch how fast my health regens now that I'm sitting down and resting. It's going to regen quite a bit quicker, although it is going slower than normal. I think I must have a debuff. Here, hold on a second. Yeah. No. I think I've got some sort of shield. Oh, I don't know. There was a weird, like, thing there, but you do regenerate faster when you're sitting down, which I appreciate. I actually like that in MMOs. I think that's kind of nice, because that way you're not spending a ton of money on like food just for regular stupid food to eat. You can just like sit down for a couple minutes and heal up. You know, I've always liked that. But the good parts of the game, good combat system, even though it's too fast, but it's good. There's really good animations, good variety. The combat animations, the sound effects are good. Like they're impactful. The graphics are top notch, like really good graphics. The game pretty much runs pretty flawless. I don't really run into any bugs at all. Like the game hardly ever crashes. I think it's only crashed maybe 2 times in the last like 2 weeks that I've played. Like it just doesn't. It's very stable. But that's kind of an NCSoft thing. I mean, NCSoft's very good about making games that are pretty stable. I don't know if they just test good or what, but you know. These mobs just keep spawning. Look at that! Anyways, yeah, so you can see those fights take quite a while. But again, if the mobs were, you know, like lower level, you would kill them really quickly. But this game also has the Lineage 2 thing, which I don't like. I mean, I like it and I don't like it. And that's like, I think it's just too egregious or too skewed the wrong way. So like, if you're killing mobs that are like your level, like they're gonna drop loot. If you're killing mobs that are higher level than you, the loot they drop's actually better. Like the amount of loot they drop seems to be more and at a faster rate. If you're killing mobs that are like below your level by quite a bit, like let's say they're gray, like you're maybe 5 levels below you or something, they're not really going to drop much loot. So if you're farming like leather, for example, you need to kill mobs that are around your level to get the leather to drop. If you're trying to farm mobs that are way lower than you, you're not going to get any leather. So I kind of understand why they do that, because if you think about like a high level character like coming through, like a level 45 character coming through and just annihilating a bunch of low level mobs to get leather, then players who are that level, like lower level, like let's say level 10, it's going to be hard for them to farm leather because the level 45 is just going to come through and kill the mobs in like 1 second. You know, so it's going to be difficult for them because they're just going to get out farmed. So I kind of understand why they did, but it's also annoying because now you always have to be killing mobs that are, you know, close to your level. So when you get to max level, I guess it's probably going to be one of those things where if people are farming leather at max level, there's probably certain areas they're going to. I would say that the drop rates on materials in this game off of mobs is pretty low. You know, it's not super high, which wouldn't be a problem if the crafting system wasn't the way it works. So the biggest beefs I have with this game is the pay to win is disgustingly bad. It's like so bad. The crafting system is really bad because it's completely RNG and it's just stupid. It's stupid grindy. It's completely the way it is just so you'll swipe your credit card. That's exactly why it's built the way it is. They want you to swipe your credit card, buy a shit ton of Adina, and then you can just buy the materials you need to make the stuff, and just because there's farmers out there that they call ricers, that these are people that go out and all they do is farm materials and sell the materials in the auction house, and they call them like ricers, I guess. And you know, the people who are the whales, they just swipe their credit card, get all the money, get all the Adina, and just buy the materials off the auction house and then craft. It doesn't matter how many times they have to craft something because they have limitless money. You know, these are rich people who don't care about spending $10,000 on a video game or however much they want to spend, right? But yeah, it's so pay to win. And there's people that are running around the game like as of like 4 days ago or last week that were like gear score way above everybody. Like for example, Kanan's been playing like non-stop, and I'm sure he's swiped his credit card because he's got like mostly all plus 10 whatever gear. He's got a really good weapon, and his gear score I think is around like, I don't know what his gear score was, if it was like 1800 or something. But that's nothing compared to like the super duper whales who are running around with like 3000 gear score. And he said he hasn't seen too many of those on his server, but those guys that are like at that gear score will in PvP will annihilate you. So you have people that are playing the game like 10 hours a day every day or 15 hours a day every day ever since release, and their gear score is like 15, 1800, and then someone who's been swiping their credit card hardcore will come along and just annihilate them. So you can't. Why can't you find a good layout of a guide? What do you mean layout? What do you mean layout? Like just a guide on how to play the game? I mean, there's not a lot of guides that are in English, obviously, because they've only released in Korea and Taiwan. So I haven't personally, but I mean, most of the websites you can translate to English. I haven't personally looked, but there is one website out there that was, what was it called? It had a weird name. If you go to Grok AI, I think it, let's go to Grok.
감사합니다. 이 정도면
그럼 이제 우린
네. 고생 많으셨습니다. 이제 돌아가시.
그렇겠지. 하지만 그 전에 자네에게 이 정보를 알려줘야 할 것 같군. 정찰하다
어디서 말입니까?
북쪽 지역이었네. 크랄들의 무리가
이런. 아직 증원군이 도착하려면 시간이 좀 걸림.
우린 슬슬 떠나야 하네. 하지만 떠나는 길에 힘이
그래 주실 수 있음 미리 감사드립니다.
Okay, I mean, Extra Life is good, but these aren't the websites I was looking at. There was another one. Aion2.online. I haven't really looked at this one. Aion2 Hub. And I'll never go to Reddit for resources. Okay, so Extra Life has got some stuff he's done. Here's some guides walkthroughs. Yeah, but look, see, it looks like he hasn't. Yeah, it looks like he hasn't got it in place yet. Here's the leveling guide on Aion2. Let's take an Aion2 Hub. I haven't looked at these websites. Main leveling path, what gives the most XP. This one looks like it's got some decent information because it's talking about the game systems, how to upgrade your gear. Yeah, this is good. Because there's stuff in the game that doesn't make, like, for someone who's not used to Eastern MMOs, there's some stuff that might not make sense. Oh, you're thinking like Elder Scrolls Online, HV build. it's like you're playing Elder Scrolls Online. Stamina Templar. Best skills. I mean, don't. My thing to that is you should always just learn that stuff on your own. I never like it's nice to have guys that kind of give you an idea, but just figure, just play around. Play around with different stuff. I mean, like for me, like. Like you're going to be able to level your skills up. Don't forget that when you level skills up to level 8, like for example, you're like the skills this level 5. So when you get your skill to level, you rank it up to level 8. You have one of 3 choices to choose from, right? So if I level this skill here, this one, which I don't really like that skill. Here, this one. If I level this one up to level 8, which I'm going to do right now, right? Okay, now that I've leveled this skill up to level 8, it unlocked the ability to pick one of these 3 things. Because these 3 are available at level 8 of your skill. At skill level 12, this one becomes available, and at skill level 16, this one becomes available. But at level 8, on all your skills, there's always 3 things to choose from, right? So this ability, right? So which one was this one? God, Shield Smite, which I think is, I don't even know, this one. So it's this ability. It does have like a stun effect on it, so we can add to the stun duration by 1 second. You see here's the damage it does, right? And then you can also click the arrows to see what it would be if I leveled it up to rank 9. It shows. So I mean, really, the people complain about the UI in this game, but there's actually there's a lot of good information that's built into the game. Like, this is really good information here. It shows you, like, oh, this is what it's going to be if I level up, you know? There's also other really good information in the game. Like, if you go into your inventory and you say, for example, I click on this item, oh, a gemstone infused with valuable jewels, but you can go here and say source, and it'll tell you, oh, these sapphires can be found in the Elune River, and then you can click on it, and it will actually show you what valley it's in, right? It says, oh, here, it's over here. This is, instantly teleport to the Cantus Valley, and that's a place where you could probably find these. So same thing here. Let's say if I wanted to do, I don't know, like what's another good example? I don't know. I've never done it on a scroll. Let's see. Source of a scroll. Oh, it comes from a quest, or it comes from Shugo Festival. I mean, all of these items you can go here, and then the other thing you can look at is, let's see. Like when you go into the enhancement system of like enhancing your gear, like this particular earring gets enhanced with these stones, which are called soul stones. So soul stones, but there's other things you can do. Like you can enhance it and enchant it up with just regular Adina. Then there's also certain gear that can be engraved with theostones, like my sword, right? So if I go into my sword here, sword and shield, it can also be engraved with a theostone. Now theostones are stones you find, and there's lots of different types. And there's basically like enchanting your weapon like you would in World of Warcraft. But when you use it, it destroys it, right? So I've only got one of each of these. So this one here, if I engrave my weapon with this theostone, it's going to have a 4% chance to deal 500 additional AoE water damage to up to 4 targets. Pretty cool, right? It also is going to give the weapon a appearance effect. So you'll actually have like a visual effect that's applied to the weapon. So it might be glowing, or who knows? There's going to be some sort of visual effect on the weapon. But anyways, once you use it, it's gone. And then if we change our weapon to a different weapon, we can't get that stone out of it. Like we can only, once you put it in that weapon, you can't get it back. At least not. I don't know how to do it. Like, there may be something that allows you to get it back, but currently I don't know how to do that. So, but then there's other stuff you can do, like with these stones, every time you engrave an item with a mana stone, these are the different types of things you could possibly get. You could get attack, and it shows you the percentage chance, right? This actually gets way more complicated when you get like gold level gear, because there's all kinds of stuff you can do. Like you can reset your skills. Like I can't do it with this because it's a low level gear. Once you get up to like gold level gear, you can actually re-roll your abilities, and there's a lot of stuff you can do. But yeah, the soul binding rate, you can increase the soul binding rate, and the higher you go with soul binding, the stats go up. So these stats here will actually go up when you, well, actually it's not these stats. It's actually these stats, like the HP and the natural MP, regen, and probably the ironclad defense. These here when you increase your soul binding rate, are going to increase. They're going to get stronger. And to increase to increase those, you're going to need these books, these soul codex. It's a tome with the power to draw out the latent potential within the soul. It increases the binding rate. So you want to hold on to these. So when you're playing the game and you get these books, you want to hold on to them until you get to like end game. And you get like your best in slot gear, because you're going to be using these to re-roll, or basically increase your soul binding rate of your gear to get it up to 100%. So once it's at 100%, soul binding rate, then these abilities here, your attack, constitution, natural history, reach, and these abilities are going to be at their highest possible level. And then of course you can re-roll these. Like if you don't like these stats, you can always just re-engrave, and this just takes the soul stones, right? So there's that. So there's just a lot of stuff in the game, right? There's a lot of different things. But the one thing I do like the game is they don't give you like wasted shit. Like when I play Guild Wars 2, my inventory just gets so cluttered with so much crap. And it's like I don't even know what to do. I'm sure a lot of it has its uses, but a lot of it just feels like junk. But when you go into this game and you look at my inventory, everything in my inventory has a use. Like there's a reason this stuff exists. Like, you know, most of it's like crafting, enhancing your character, gear, stuff that enhances your gear. Everything here has a use. There's this item here, which is Odile Energy. Now, Odile Energy, here it says recharges 40 Odile Energy. What this is used for is it recharges your energy, because every time you do a dungeon or a raid, those things use energy, and and the energy recharges at a certain rate, which is one of the reasons why they want you to get a subscription, because if you get a subscription, your Odile Energy is going to recharge at a faster rate. So I have a special Shugo membership. That's right. So I have this membership. So you can see here that Odile Energy, where is it? It should say in here somewhere. Odile Energy charge 50% increase. So my Odile Energy recharges 50% faster than it would normally. And if I go into Expedition, which are the dungeons, you can see that if I run this dungeon, it's going to take, let's see, like right now I have 395 out of possible 840 Odile Energy. If I run this dungeon, it's going to use some of this energy. I don't know how much, but it will use some. I don't really know how, but it will use, here it is, right here. It's going to use 20 Odile Energy, apparently. At least that's what it says here. And these are the top possible rewards you can get, right? For running this dungeon. So one of the ways they limit you on the amount of times you can run dungeons is how much Odile Energy you have. But of course, like I said, you also acquire these items, which you can use to recharge that energy so that you can keep running those dungeons, you know, over and over again. But there's a lot of systems in the game, you know. One of the systems that's kind of cool is the pet system is cool because they give you basically all these for free. It doesn't cost you any money. Most MMOs to get pets is very difficult. And a lot of MMOs, they charge you money to buy pets from the shop. Not this game. I currently have 64 pets. Is that right? I don't have 64 pets, do I? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32. I guess I do. I literally have 64 pets, okay? And it didn't cost me anything, you know? So we can go through if I want to use this little unicycle or whatever, I can use that. If I want to ride around this dude, I can ride around this dude. If I want to ride around this weird looking mechanical owl, we can do that. Some creepy looking whatever, you know? All of these things. We want some... This little dude kind of looks like a Murloc, but he's not a Murloc, but definitely see the Murloc influence. And there's some weird ones like this. I have no idea what this is. It's a spirit. You know, trees. Anyways. And then some of the systems give benefits to your character. So the pet system has benefits. So you go in here and you collect these soul crystals, right? And you get these by killing these guys over and over again, these pets, because these are just NPCs in the world that you kill. And when you kill these over and over again, you get these soul points. And the soul points allow you to eventually get soul crystals, and the soul crystals allow you to go into the genus insight, and they allow you to apply. So it takes 15 soul points here plus Adina, because everything in this game costs Adina, to try to analyze and increase the strength of the bonuses I'm getting from this particular tree, pet tree, which is Farah. There's Farah, Cogni, Natura, Varian, and Special. Currently, this is... I don't know quite how this works, but I'm assuming I'm getting these benefits. I'm assuming that if I use a Farah pet, I guess, that I'm going to get these benefits. I would assume. And if we go to the pet system, like, hopefully it'll tell you what type of pet it is. See, you can see here, it's got a little fox head, which makes me think it's a Farah pet. And if I go to, let's see, this one here, it's got a tree. So then that's probably going to be a Natura pet. So I'm assuming, and I don't know, I'm just assuming because I don't really know, that if I want to get the benefits of Farah, I have to be using a Farah pet. Okay? And the current pet I have is this one, which is not a Farah. It's this bird-looking thing, which is this guy. So I'm not getting any benefits. I'm just getting these two things. So we can analyze. Oh, and we increased our Cogni attack. So anyway, so you can use these points and money to strengthen your pets, and then of course that gives you benefits in the game. The other thing that gives you benefits in the game, stat benefits, are the cube, not the cube, sorry, the Deva thing. Where's it at? Here, I'm just opening it up. Ugh, where is it? It's here. Is this stupid board, and this board is just, you get these points, and you get these from completing like dungeons, and you get them from completing quests, and you just use these points to put on the board. And eventually, I'm assuming you're just going to get all the squares of the board. So it's kind of a dumb system if you really think about it. It's just like, oh, I got 16 points. If I put a point here, I get attack bonus 5. Okay, great. So I'm assuming that gives me more attack bonus on my character. And there's currently 3 trees I have open. And again, I would just imagine at some point we'll probably have all of these squares filled out. But that's another thing that is going to strengthen your character. So you've got your gear, you've got your enchantments, you've got your pets, you've got that, and then there's more stuff. Oh, your wings. So your wings also can give you bonuses. So if I equip these wings, I've got an evasion 25 and hit points 300. If I equip these, I only got hit points 200. So these are worse, obviously, right? So currently my equipped wings are these, the superior Deva wings, which give me defense 300. So these are my best wings, right? But the cool thing is you can equip the wings you want for the stats, but then you can make the wings look like whichever wings you have that you like the look of the best. So even though I'm using these wings, I'm using this skin. So my wings look like this, but even though I'm not using these wings, they look like these wings. But I'm actually using these wings. So your wings give you stats too. So your wings give you stats, your gear gives you stats, the Devanian, the Deva, how do we want to pronounce this? I always murder this word. I'm going to call this Devanian. The Devanian board gives you some sort of stats. The enchantments give you stats, and there's more. There's other stuff too that I'm forgetting. There's even more stuff that gives you stats. There's titles, okay. Titles give you stats. So you get titles by completing dungeons and by completing quests, and you have 3 slots that you can equip, you can slot your titles into. And so you can pick over here, and here's all the titles that I have. And so you can go through here and say, oh, I want attack bonus. This one gives me attack bonus 6 and HP 10. Now, HP 10 is 100 health. So that's what that stands for. Defense 10, So currently in this one, I have equipped Ride All Creation, which is this one, which gives me movement speed increase 0.5%, and it gives me critical attack 21. And this one I've got Seductive Gaze, critical hit resist 50, critical damage tolerance, attack with. Anyways, so your titles give you stats, right? So that's another thing that gives you stats. I'm trying to think. There's probably even more stuff that gives you stats, but there's a lot. And of course, you got your skills. And again, your skills, just don't forget about over here that when you get to certain ranks, you get to choose these. And when you choose them, then you have to slot them. Remember, we did rank this one up to level 8, this one. And we haven't, and this is where we kind of started this whole conversation around, the systems in the game, right? And we didn't pick anything yet, so we need to pick something. So do we want to pick 1 second stun duration? Do we want to say remove MP cost and restore MP on hit? So this is going to restore MP. Or do we want 50% chance to activate debilitating smash, which is which one? This is a debilitating smash. So if we do that, then this ability has a chance to open up, to basically reset the cooldown on this one. I actually, personally... I mean, debilitating smash does hit up to 4 enemies, so I would rather have this one, the chance to activate. Because I don't really think I need mana. So, like, currently... Yeah, so I'm just going to go here. And you can change these at any time. You just click it and slot it. If I want to change it, oh, no, just put it to this one. You know, or just remove it. So, there's no cost to, you know, to switch these in and out, so... I'm gonna go with this one. Okay. And now, when we use that ability, which is my A key, right? So if I use A, here, let's just pull this guy. Alright. If I use the A key, right here, A. Actually, that probably wasn't a good example of... It's a pretty short cooldown on that skill. So we did activate. Actually, which one is debilitating? This is debilitating, right? Alright. Big sneeze. I don't know. I mean, 50% chance to activate that skill. You know what? I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna go with the stun. Let's see how long this stun lasts. Let me pull him over. Now we're gonna stun him. Look at how long he's stunned. 4 seconds. Obviously for PvP that would be nice, right? And then we can do this ability. Look at that. That's a 3-second stun. Now we can hit him with another stun. Another stun. So actually, we have quite a bit of stuns. I don't like the problem with one of the biggest problems with the game is the UI. The UI is really bad. It's hard to track your cooldowns because they're all the way at the bottom of the screen. Like you don't have as many skills as a lot of MMOs, but the abilities are down here, so it's hard to track your cooldowns. And because the cooldowns are all over the place. Like some are really short, some are longer. Like for example, the Stigma ones. Like this one's really long. Like this is like here. This is a 1 and 30-second cooldown, and it's a pull, so it allows you to pull mobs up to like 3 mobs, right? So check this out. Okay, so this skill here, it'll allow me to pull 3 mobs to me, but it's a 1 and 30-second cooldown. It's nice. I mean, it's kind of a nice ability, and it's probably really good if you're tanking dungeon stuff. You want to really tank or something. But just for like being out in the world, I think the cooldown is too long for it to be very useful. So I'm probably going to change that to something else. I just think that that's too long of a cooldown. So let's just put Silly Lovey. What is this? Noble Armor. This is going to increase my max HP. What are the other ones we have here? Protective Shield. And of course, that one's more of a flying ability though. Increases max HP and it restores. Let's put that one there. I don't remember what the keybind is for that. I think it's yeah, middle mouse. Is it middle mouse select? Yeah, it is. Okay. So we're gonna do that. Let's see if he does any damage to me. Get some. Let's try to so you can see the cooldown numbers are really tiny. Like, see that? See, it's like really small. There's a little 4, 3, 2, 1 right here. I mean, that is really small. Yeah, let's get a screenshot of this. Okay, because it's just not good. All right. It didn't feel like that shield. It didn't feel like that shield really absorbed that much. This one. I guess 2740 isn't really a lot. Let's. What else we got? Temporary block damage. Temporary increased block damage reduction to front types by 100%. Or guaranteed shield block restores mana. Not successful block. Let's put our pulling ability back in, I think. But as you can see, there's a lot to the game. So the thing I will say about this game is there's good depth to the game. There's a lot of depth to, you know, ways that you can like kind of strengthen your character. You know, the horizontal progression, whatever you want to call it. The progression systems are there. You know, if they fix the crafting, if they got rid of the pay to win, if they pulled everything out of the cash shop so that you can't buy materials, so that you can't buy Dina, if they pulled all that out, and if they got rid of the RNG on crafting and just made it so that, hey, this, you know, if I want to make an epic shield, then I can make an epic shield. I just have to get the materials, make the materials hard to obtain. You know, just like most MMOs, right? Instead of this like, oh, 25% chance proc to get this item, and then you've got to use that item and hope that it procs 25% to get the next rank, and if it doesn't, then you got to stall her over again down at the first level, like first item again. You know, it's just kind of silly. But trying to rotate for PvP through my stun durations is tough because, like in World of Warcraft, for example, if I'm playing a rogue and I want to like open up with like cheap shot and get like a 2-second stun into like a 5-point kidney shot, and I know I've got like a 4-second or 5 seconds, you know, you can kind of work on a stun locking rotation, but it's a little bit difficult because the stun numbers are so tiny on the screen here. So you have to just practice a lot on your characters and get really good. You know, go out in the world. If you're working on stun locking, I would definitely practice that a shit ton and get really useful to it, because you're not going to be able to count on looking at the numbers, because like you saw here, like when I did the stun here, right, if I stun this guy, like sometimes even if I move this stupid little bar above my head, see that bar that's above my head, this one, if I move that, it can go over and cover. See, here's the stun, 4 seconds. If I happen to move that up, then it's covering the counter, right? So it's just, you know, so you want to really just practice your abilities and figure out what works best. But that's the strength. The strength of this game is the character creator. Like the really high points of this game is the character creator is fantastic. The character controller is actually quite good. You know, I'm a big stickler for character controllers. The character controller is very responsive. The movement feels very like fluid. You know, it's very. I mean, it takes a bit to get used to because it does have that slight delay when you're changing directions, which I don't like. But once you play the game for a couple days, that annoying factor goes away and you just get used to it. So now it feels completely normal because I've been playing the game for a lot. And then the combat's really, really good. There's lots of variety in the combat. There's tons of stuff you can do. I mean, I have a lot of abilities, and there's a lot of different rotations. I can go into a stun rotation. I can go to a damage rotation. I can dodge like, right? There's a shit ton of dodging in this game, right? So I can pull this about, and I can dodge. I can hit him, and I can dodge. I can go hit him again, and I can dodge again. I can stun him, and I can dodge again. I mean, there's a lot of dodging, and I dodge again. which is needed against some of the bosses. Because some of the bosses, they do these attacks, like these AoE attacks, these rings that start off on them and then they go out like 3 times. So you have to dodge 3 times and you have to time it. They'll do a ring away from the body and you got to dodge it and then you got to move because it'll do the next ring. Right? Here, let me show you. So the boss will be here, and he'll do this ring of fire damage or whatever it is, and it'll be completely in this whole area. So your character will have to dodge out, and then actually, you know what? Those rings are too small. Can I move the ads? So he'll do this like fire damage ring, and if you're anywhere, you know, and here's the boss, and if you're anywhere in here, you're going to take damage. So you'll dodge out, but when you dodge, you're going to end up right about here. So when you end up here on the dodge, the next ring will appear almost instantly, but you don't want to panic. You don't want to panic and dodge right away, because if you dodge right away, you'll end up here, and you're gonna, and then the damage will hit the ground, and you'll take damage. So you'll dodge to here, then for about 1.5 seconds, you'll run to about. Then you're gonna run for about 1.5 seconds to here, even though the ring is already. You'll see it. The red ring is already there on the ground, you know, giving you the telegraph. Don't panic. Don't dodge. You're gonna have to walk to about here, then dodge to here. Then the next ring will show right away. Don't panic. Again, you're going to have to walk to about here, then dodge to here. That way you can avoid every ring of damage. And you'll see this repeated over and over again on a lot of different boss fights. And there's different mechanics where some boss will put a ring of fire or a ring of damage around him and you'll dodge out. But then the next ring will be too big, and you won't be able to dodge out of that one, but the ring around him will disappear, so then it's a safe zone to dodge back to the boss. So you dodge away from the boss, and then you'll dodge back to the boss. Again, this is something you guys, if you've played a lot of MMOs, these are not new ideas. These are not new boss mechanics. These have been done in other MMOs. So the day-night cycle changes in about 3 seconds. So when it goes from like a certain time to another, like right there, it happens like in about 2 or 3 seconds. So it was kind of like nighttime, and then now it's daytime, and the transition's like 3 seconds. It's very fast. Yeah, so I think the combat's good. The graphics are good. The character controller feels nice and smooth. I like the story. I think the story, like the quest, the main story quest, I think is actually pretty good. I actually find myself reading. There's lots of books that you find in dungeons that you interact with, and they give the lore and kind of the background and the story, and I actually enjoy reading it, and that's saying a lot for me because I don't typically read that through quests in most MMOs, but the way they present it here is a little bit easier to digest because it's like, oh, you're forced to click on a book because if you don't, you're not going to complete the dungeon. So it forces you to click on things. And then text appears, and you don't have to read it if you don't want to, but it's presented in a way that looks nice. It's a nice, cool book, and it's like torn pages. The graphics are well done. The font is very nice, you know, and the text isn't super long. It's not a lot of text to read, and so I find myself reading through the books and learning about the lore of the game, and I actually enjoy it. So I would give that a positive as well. I think the story's pretty decent, and I think the way they present the story to you is pretty good, which for me, like I said, typically I don't like to read quests. So I don't like when you get a quest and you click on it and there's this huge long, you know, dialogue window, like, you know, big book that, you know, Anyway, so yeah, so I think the quest, and then there's not a lot of quests. Like, when you look at the world, you'll see these green diamonds, right? And those are quests. So like this green diamond here's a quest. So there's not a lot. Like, this is nothing compared to like something like World of Warcraft. Like, you know, there's a few. Oh, there's a few quests. I mean, like in World of Warcraft, you could go to a, like, this would be like a hub. You could think of all these little like angels, this blue little female with her wings here. You could think of that as like maybe a quest hub. In World of Warcraft, this little area here, there'd be like 20 quests in this area in World of Warcraft. No joke. In Aion, there's like one, maybe a few, like two, maybe three. But then there's these question marks. Now the question marks are just dungeons. They're these little mini dungeons that take like 5 to 10 minutes. They're very, very short. You just go in, you kill a bunch of mobs, you loot some stuff, and it's done, and you get rewards. It's just very simple. And that's what all those question marks are. There's a bunch of them. And you can see a lot of them up here. There aren't that many because I've done a lot of them. But there's a few. Like here I've done most of them, but here's one. And then as you go further down here into the higher level zones, you probably see, you know, more of them because I haven't done them all. There's a bunch of question marks. So I like the fact that they don't overburden you with quests. You're not just like inundated by 10,000 quests. And then here you can go into this shows you the different locations on the map. And you can teleport to any of these blue things that you've discovered. Like I said, just like Skyrim or just like Guild Wars 2. Like this one I haven't gotten close enough to unlock, this one right here. But once I do, that'll turn blue. Like right now I can't teleport there, but once I walk close by, it'll just automatically grab it, and then I can then fly there. Actually, here's a quest here. But again, there's not too many quests, which I really appreciate. So when you're leveling in this game, like from what I've heard, if you just like play the game and just go through the main story quest and just ignore everything else and just do the main story quest, you'll end up completing it. I think you'll be like around level 35. You can see I haven't even completed the main story quest, and I'm level 41. That's because I never like to just do quests. I like to explore. One of the things I do like about this game is the world is really nice. It's really big. It's huge. It's a big world. There's a lot of cool creatures in it. There's lots of resources to gather. And there's other stuff in the game, like if you grab crystals, for example, like the diamond crystals, the sapphires, there's a very small chance that you'll get a Shugo pouch or a cosmetic pouch. It's really low. It's not a very high chance. And it's going to look like this. It's called a Poco skin bundle. And sometimes when you're like hitting like an ore, you'll loot one of these. And when you open this up, it has a chance. There's like about 30 or 40 items in it that you can get. But there's 3 different wings you can get. Now on my other Korean account, I got 2 of the wings in the same day. Like I got these wings on like the second one of these that I've found. And I got the Odell wings literally like 4 or 5 pouches later, which is insane. These blue ones, this yellow one here, the blue butterfly wings, they were selling on the auction house on this server for like 6 million Adina. So, but anyways, what I'm saying is you can certainly farm. Like you can see here, I got these wings, the Odell wings. Look at that. And then I think I probably even put a picture of when I got the other ones in here, maybe. I don't know, maybe I didn't. I might have put them in a different chat, but I probably did. But yeah, so if you just want to like farm those, and if you get lucky and get them, you could make yourself a pretty good amount of money. But unfortunately, it seems like a really low drop rate. For some reason, one day I ended up getting like 4 or 5 or 6 of those pouches in one day, and since then I've gotten like 2 over a span of like the last 3 days. So, but I haven't been farming the crystals as much as I was, so that could be why. But anyways, I'm gonna jump off the stream because it's later than I realized actually, and I've been playing for I guess about 3 hours. But yeah, I'm level 41. I haven't finished the main story quest, but I think I'm probably getting pretty close to finishing it because you can see here it says level 41. I Although I guess maybe you wouldn't be level 35 because if the quest is level 41, it'd be hard to do if you were level 35. Huh. So I take that back. Maybe you don't finish the main story quest. I just assumed you did because I heard a lot of people saying that the leveling really slowed down at 35, and I saw one video where the guy said there wasn't much to do after level 35 because he'd already done all the quests, so I assumed he meant he'd already done the main story quest, but maybe he hadn't. But yeah, this game, like, could be, like, as far as MMOs go, this could be a super, super good MMO, and it wouldn't take that much to make it really good. If you just fix the crafting system, and you removed all the pay-to-win out of the cash shop, and just maybe a few other tweaks, I would slow down the animations of the combat quite a bit, and I would also increase the difficulty of the mobs by quite a bit, and then I would probably slow down the leveling too, especially the leveling through the main story quest. Like, when you're doing, like, the main story quest, you level super fast. Like, you know, you could level, like, for example, I'm 41. I think I was, like, level 38 when I logged in. So in, like, 3 hours, I went from 38 to 41. That's, you know, and I haven't even been doing much but talking for the past 30, 40 minutes. So you level quite quick when you're doing the story quest. Probably way too fast, in my opinion. But also, the cosmetics they have in the cash shop are way too expensive. They don't really look that good, in my opinion. I don't think they look that good. Hey, whatever. I think I probably should do like a video at some point, maybe, and just talk about it. Maybe somebody would watch it. Who knows? I'll catch you guys later. Everybody has a good one, and I'll catch you next.